Hey,
Hey.
you might be able to figure out what these builds are about if you can correctly answer these questions. How many cylinders in your truck?
8.
8. Do you have paddle tires?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have the minimum amount of seats required to make a truck move?
1.
I have a couple more. Does your truck have dirt on it?
Yes.
Yes. Did you incorporate steel parts on your roll cage?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have a lifted truck?
Yes.
Yes. Did you use a scale transmission?
Yes.
Yes. Oh man. We have a couple of mud trucks here, and I'm telling you what, you just cannot get away from the fact that a mud truck is probably the most beefy monster of a thing that could ever possibly be built, even if it's in the one-to-one world, because if you've ever done full-size four-wheeling, you'll know that a mud truck has to have some kind of ridiculous amount of horsepower. Driving through mud is a real drag on the drivetrain, and stuff breaks constantly, and you hit stumps and rocks and stuff under there that you didn't even know were in there, trying to bog through a swamp. And like, the trucks take a huge beating.
Big time.
So why not build an RC truck that's a mud truck that's exactly the same?
That's it.
Why not? Just beef the friggin' crap right out of it. So, I think you guys have seen my mud Jeep. It's still dirty. I just want to tell you that I've yet to clean this since it was built. And so all the times I've wheeled it, including a couple times I actually just rock crawled it, I will not clean it, and I still haven't done that. So, if you have a mud truck, don't clean it.
Don't clean it.
Never. Not even if you have it on the kitchen table.
Not even if you're fixing it.
Nope.
Throw dirt on it.
Yep. If it gets too clean, spray some mud or spill your Coke on it or something. Yeah, make it authentic.
That's right.
So, Doug came by the shop to have his fantastic rig review on his fantastic Chevy mud truck. And I'll tell you what, there's some real unique, awesome stuff going on with this. This thing is probably one of the most legitimate reproductions of a muscle truck that I've ever seen. And you're going to have to tell us all about it. So, start maybe from the, bottom up? I don't know.
From the bottom up.
Bottom up, what did you use for the wheels and tires?
For the wheels and tires, I used these wheels and tires off of a Walmart John Deere tractor toy. And then I just bolted on these Vanquish Products SLW hubs and made them work on
Those things,
12 mil hexes.
like, I don't know what's going on with this, okay, but like, I used the RC 4-wheel drive 1.9 mud tires. I forget what they were called. I think they have a legitimate name, but I don't know what they're called.
Tractor tires.
Tractor tires. Anyways, they're cool and everything, but that's way cooler.
They're too soft. I think they're too soft. Mud tires are rock hard.
These are so friggin' cool, man. Like, you know that they're gonna work. They just,
work.
I mean, they're the right size. They look like they're the right size. They have this gigantic rim, which is what mud trucks actually most of the time are using, some kind of a huge oversized rim. And that's like totally legit. What a genius idea.
Thank you.
What happened to the tractor?
It's sitting at home in a box for in case I need like a steering wheel or some. Just keep everything. You never know when you'll need something off of something. Put it in a box. It keeps.
You should RC the crap out of that tractor.
Yeah, I need to bolt an axle to it now.
Put a snowblower on it.
Put something on it.
There you go. So then you've got axle housings. What did you use for axle housing?
For axle housings, I got. You would know. These are the steel GCM metal heads.
Whoa!
There's probably not very many of these sitting, floating around.
I bet you Bad Hoopty's got all the rest of the ones that I can think of.
And this is the only set I've ever seen, so and I love them.
That is one
I
tough
probably
unit.
wouldn't get rid of them for anything, tell you the truth.
And they're steel too, so they're heavy and weight down low, which is kind of good when you have a higher truck. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
They're almost a pound a piece, these axles. They're heavy.
That's some big steel right there. And then the gearing you put in them with axial HDs or something?
Axial HDs. I got overdrives in the front and the rear, and underdrives up front, I believe. And I had to swap out the T-case gears a little bit, like change the outputs so that I got the right gearing. But we got her.
That might actually sound backwards, but the way that he has the T-case set up, when you see how he did this, he had to actually put the gears in the diffs the wrong way to make the final drive ratio work out properly.
That's right.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense right now, but I'll explain that to you in a minute. So maybe you can pull this thing up, open the lid up, and then show us all the goodness inside.
Right inside there.
So this is a hard body Claude
This is a Claude body. It's just
Tamiya shell.
pretty much standard flip open here. Got the two posts bolted on the back and the magnets under the hood. Clip it to the cage up by the bump by the grill here.
Oh, sweet.
Just got the full interior. Got the
Man.
full cage. Sound kit's underneath here.
Brum, 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 brum,
Full
brum, brum,
motor, transmission. T-case is all under there. All GCM goods.
This thing is so friggin' legit. I can't even believe it. Like, I mean, just look at the motor detail on this thing. It's mind-blowing. The motor detail. Like, it's incredible. What did you use for the blower belt?
For the blower belt, I just used a helicopter belt for some helicopter toy. I found it in a reduced parts bin, and that's perfect. I took it home.
Love it.
That's it.
And that's legit, man. And then, how much of this did you have to styrene then? Pretty much the whole motor?
Pretty
or
much,
what?
I built the whole blower section out of styrene, minus the intake. That's off the Tamiya, off the Claude. It bolts to the top of the hood there.
Oh, you repurposed that thing.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good idea.
And I
That was a
gutted
good
it
idea.
out. I gutted it out so it's hollow, and I glued the mesh on there so it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
solid anymore. So
Woohoo!
purged all the NOS lines in there.
Man, oh man. What did you use for the NOS lines? Looks like a wire.
Use welding wire for all the NOS lines.
Oh, yeah?
The emergency brake line. And I
So cool.
Craft wire for the spark plugs. Fuel line for the coolant hoses.
Man, oh man.
And then I made my own pulleys out of styrene.
Woo!
And then just slowly, surely, find you a picture and make one piece at a time, and pretty soon you'll have something, you didn't think you could do. And then next thing you know, you're amazing yourself,
That's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's 4-link in the rear, and then you have a track bar, 3-link in the front.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. So, what do you use to power this incredible beast?
So I just use a Easy Run, I think it's Hobby King ESC setup, and then I got the 3300 kV brushless motor from Hobby Wing as well.
Bam!
It's just a standard 3-channel receiver, and just a sound kit down in there. The ES1's at the very bottom. Underneath everything, you can see it down here,
Up in the front.
up in the front.
Love it.
That's it.
Man,
Full
oh
interior.
man. So how did you make your frame rails and all that stuff?
I just took 1-inch box steel, I cut it in half and just brazed it on, and like I said, you find a picture of a chassis or draw out sketches of a chassis that you like and blow it up to the size that you want, and then you can just make it from there. You're only limited by your imagination.
So the reason the gearing sounds funny is because he's got the scale motor in there with the scale tranny, and then the LRT transfer case from GCM, except because the motor's in the back with the tranny facing forward, which is authentic by the way, the outputs on the transmission got changed all around. So on the center gear on the LRT, you actually use that for an output to
Okay.
match the diff ratios and all that other stuff.
That's correct.
Okay, so the end result is that he's got both of the ring gears on the same side of the truck, which means one drive shaft is turning counterclockwise, the other one is turning clockwise. So in order to make the drive shaft outputs on the transfer case work, he's got them on opposing gears. That's why the gearing is so whacked out with the diffs. But the end result is that I think you said it was a slight overdrive in the front.
Slight overdrive, about 16th maybe of a turn more than the rear wheel's overdrive in the front. That's fine for pulling it through the mud.
That's almost like no overdrive.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like it's pretty much perfect.
That's caught up in the wheel slop, right?
Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. And then the rest of the diffs I think it's got SCX10 knuckles on it, and in the back it's no lockouts, it's just the metal heads.
These are VP knuckles and C-hubs up front.
Cool.
The stage 1 kit there.
Nice. So what do you use for a battery pack in this thing then?
I use a 2200 mAh 3S.
Man.
Well, I can't remember the name. Turnigy batteries, I think they are.
Can you imagine
the
that?
purple ones.
A 3-cell with a 3000 kV brushless.
Slinging the goo.
Oh man, does it fling it real good?
Oh, it slings it. It's hard to keep it in control. It's just gone.
Ooh, yeah. Just thinking about that makes me happy. We should go try to get these things out in the dirt.
I should get them muddy.
Want to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go fling some mud. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy this running time. Bye-bye. Whoa! Flipped her.
Flipped her.